Hello everyone, Sala here. I thought I would make a video to talk about the software that I use to with how to make videos. Like, what is the software that I use to make my videos? And this video here is in addition to the presentation that I'm doing today really quickly at the start of the day at 9 a.m. But again, I thought I would make this video in case A, you weren't able to be here, or you're working from home, or B, you forget some of the things that I've talked about, and at least you'll have this that you can come back to just in case. So, for me, making videos has always been like I've always had a few criteria in the software that I've selected. The software always had to be, for me at least, free and really, really, really easy to use. The free portion, well, for pretty self-explanatory reasons, any software that I want to use, I want it to be free. I'm not really ready to spend $20 or $30 or any amount of money on software that I'm not sure will pay off or that I will feel comfortable using. So that is my first criteria, and then my second criteria is it really has to be very simple to use. And so I've come across some of the like in my research looking for software that I'm going to be using to make my videos and how to annotate my screen. I've come across some programs in the past that are really, really, like have a lot of not a very easy to use user interface, and they have a lot of different elements and options, and you kind of get lost in it. So really, when it comes down to it, I just want a basic program that I can use to record my screen, to record my audio, and another program that I can use to just annotate and write on my screen. So maybe let's get started with the writing on the screen program. So the program that I use is called Epic Pen. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so Epic Pen is a program that you can actually pay for, but there is a free trial, not trial, sorry, there is a free option, and I've always used that option for the past 5 years when I've made my videos, because it is more than sufficient and gives me all the tools that I need. So it's called Epic Pen. You can just go and Google it. You can click on the first link there, and then just clicking on this download will start that download for you. So here it is. Here's what it looks like. It's pretty straightforward. You've got your mouse cursor, so that just that's just like your regular mouse cursor. And let's say that you do want to start writing. Well, you'd select this pen here, and then you can start writing however you want. So that's this guy here. You can also use the highlighter. The highlighter, for me at least, doesn't really look much different. I guess you can still see the background. That's the whole idea of a highlighter. So if you wanted to use the highlighter, you totally can. To be able to write text, you do need to get the full version of this, which again costs money, so I haven't. Writing text I see could probably be useful, especially if you're having a bit of a hard time writing using a mouse. So I'll get on, I'll talk about that later. You can make shapes, but again, these shapes require the full version, so that's totally up to you. You can obviously erase. That doesn't require the full version, thank God. So you can go and erase what you've written. You can obviously go and change the size of your pen. So let's say you wanted maybe a little bit of a thicker pen, so something like this, right? So you can go and do that, or maybe a little bit less. Well, there you go. You can go and change that as well through this little option right here. Let's say that you accidentally went and deleted something or erased something, and you're like, oh no, I didn't mean to erase that. Well, there's an undo button for that. Okay, so that's this little arrow right here. Let's say that you have written all over your screen, you've taught a whole bunch of stuff, you're talking about the quadratic formula and what does that mean and how do you do it and all that stuff, and your screen got really full. Instead of going and deleting each one of these little, I guess, pieces of writing one at a time, you can just go and delete it all by hitting this little trash bin. It is a trash bin. It's called clear screen. So just hitting that clears your entire screen for you. This option here again is if you have the full version. What you can do is you can actually have a background that is either white, so that's the whiteboard background, or a background that's just black. I wouldn't recommend buying the full version just for this, because really you could just you could just go and open up a paint program and then just, put a black screen and just, let's do that again. Black screen, there we go. And then you can just go and write on that. So really, there's really no point for that. If you really want to, you can. I'm not saying don't, but if you want a black background, just open up Paint and yeah, just fill that with a black background. So yeah, and you can do a take screenshot, so you can do a screen capture if you really want to. I've never had to use it, but you can, and it is part of the free aspect. And finally, as you saw, there are different colors down here, so you can have blue as a color if you want to write, yellow, pink, and black. Okay. Now, the one thing with so I really like Epic Pen. I love it. I've been using it for the past 5 years for my videos, and I've got no issues with it. The only downside is that it does require a little bit of hand-to-eye coordination. So if you're having a bit of a hard time with that, then I don't know. Actually, I do know. I'll talk about that in just 1 second. But for example, it does require a little bit of hand-to-eye coordination, and this is just me, practicing there. Just being able to write with your mouse is not as easy as it sometimes sounds. And if you're having a bit of a hard time with that, it does require quite a bit of dexterity. If you're having a bit of a hard time with that, then you can actually go and find something called a Huion tablet. For me, I've never used these. Again, it's always been about free. But the Huion tablet is a surface that you can write on. You can connect it to your computer, and whatever you write on the surface appears on your desktop screen. So it could be an alternative, again, if this whole writing with your mouse thing is not really what you're hoping for. That could work. It's 44 Canadian. I know I've seen them for a little bit cheaper than that. I thought I saw them around for $30. Maybe not, I don't know. 43, ooh, $6, I'm not sure. I don't know, I wouldn't trust this one. Up to you guys. But anyways, so yes, you can go and, I guess, procure yourself a Huion tablet, and you would probably have to go and watch some of these videos here just to get a better idea of what that is. But again, that's for anyone who is having a bit of an issue with writing on a screen using a mouse. And finally, you can kind of, I guess, put your Epic Pen thingy to sleep by clicking on the eye. So clicking that eye kind of puts everything to sleep. Maybe let's say you're teaching and you wanted to put away all your annotations. You could click on that eye, and then you want to bring all your annotations back. You click again on the eye, and the eye is open, and everything is back. Okay. So that was Epic Pen. I really love it. Totally something you could try out, and really simple to use. Now, the other software that I use, obviously, is the one that I'm using to record this audio and video. So sorry, let me just close this down. Whoopsie. Click on the mouse first, close this, and close that. Nope, don't save. Okay, so the video and audio recording software that I'm using is called Electa Live Screen Recorder. Okay, and again, as I've said, my criteria has always been free and easy to use, and it took me quite a bit of time when I started making video recordings a while back. It took me quite a bit of time to finally find this program, but once I found it, I was super happy because it does everything that I need it to do, and it's a very simple program to use. So let me just go and bring that up. So give me 1 second here. Where did I put it? Presentation. Okay, so Electa Live Screen Recorder, Electa Recorder, here it is. This is it. This is your video recording software right here. Probably the first thing you're going to do, the only thing you can do, is click on New. So obviously new meaning let's create a new video. So you've got quite a few options here. Full screen recording is what I'm currently doing. I'm recording my entire screen. And I can click on Screen Settings, and this will open up some tiny little settings that I can change. Capture size. So for example, let's say that I want to make a video that's only a third of, I guess, the capture size. Then you would go and choose proportional 1/3. Okay, so whatever your video comes out to be, it won't be a full screen video. Like, it will obviously include this entire screen, but it'll be a little bit smaller, maybe like this large, which would roughly be a third of the screen. Okay, I would personally not recommend this. I would really say keep original size is probably your best bet, because as soon as you start playing with proportional and everything, you're reducing the quality of your video, and you want your video to be of the highest quality. So keeping original size would enable you to do that. Where it says quality, go with highest. Okay, it just means that the videos that you're going to make are going to be just a little bit larger in size, in terms of, like megabytes and everything, but it's definitely worth it because then your students will be able to, I guess, to see what the video you're making, like they'll be able to see the details. It'll be crisp video, etc. Frame rate, the default is 8. That means 8 frames per second, which is very choppy and very low. The highest you can go with this program is 30, and I would recommend that you do set your frame rate to 30. Otherwise, your videos are going to be quite choppy and not smooth. 30 is still going to be very, very sufficient. Again, it's that I've been using this to make my videos for many years now, and it's much more than enough. Include the taskbar in the screen recording. So this is your taskbar here. You can either choose to include it, or by unchecking this box, you are not going to include it in the screen recording. This is up to you. It really makes no difference, but I guess maybe if you had like some private things here that you didn't want other people to see, like, I don't know, you've got a program that you don't want people to see that you're using or whatever, then you'd maybe want to uncheck that. So that's up to you. And then capture the mouse cursor. I think that using the mouse cursor is going to be probably important because then your students can see where you're pointing at. But if you wanted to not include that, that's up to you. But yeah, so that is the screen capture settings. You can also opt to have to record only a portion of your screen. So let's say that on the right hand side you had some resources that you're using. You don't necessarily want your students to look at this and etc. And you wanted to do your teaching on the left hand side of the screen. So you would click that option and then you would just click and drag, and that will be the screen that is going to, or actually the part of the screen that's going to get recorded. Okay, so again, super useful if you had some resources that on the right hand side and you didn't want students to look at that, or maybe you had again some desktop icons and you're like, hey, you know what, that's none of anyone's business. I only want to record this part of the screen. Again, if you click on that and then you click and you drag, and as you can see, that little box is going to be the size of, or the area of the screen that is going to get recorded. Okay, so that's screen area recording. The really cool thing with this is you can also record a webcam. So you can just have a webcam of yourself. Obviously, you're going to need a camera of some sort. So, but I mean, if you have a laptop, your laptop will likely, unless it's one of those really, really cheap laptops, your laptop will likely include a camera. So you can do a webcam only, I guess, recording of yourself. Clicking on Webcam Settings opens up those settings for us. You don't want to play too much with source. The source just means what is the, like, where's the recording, like what is the actual hardware or software that is doing the recording. So you don't want to touch that. This is going to be by default your webcam. The resolution, now this really is up to you. If you wanted to have the highest resolution, to have that crisp, clear aspect to your webcam, you could choose that. If you don't really care too much, then you can use some of the lower resolutions, so that's up to you. In settings here, you can change some settings around. I've never played around with this. I've never had to. I would probably say don't, unless you know exactly what you're doing. If you accidentally change anything in here, then you can just hit the default button and that'll put it back to, I guess, default settings. Okay, so these are just the settings, like if you want to change the brightness of your webcam, the hue, saturation, sharpness, all that stuff. Okay. I haven't played around with it like to live session only, so I really can't really comment on this, because again, I've only just made I guess screen recordings in the past, video, audio, and posted that to YouTube, and this has been more than sufficient for that. One of the really neat things here is that you can actually have a full screen recording, but also include your webcam. So if you wanted to do that, what you would do is you'd hit Configure Presenter Video. You would check this box, Record Video from Presenter, and then this option shows your webcam over your screen recording. So what you can do, so right now we've got our source, so we're not going to change that. The resolution here 320 by 240, and if I wanted to, for example, have my webcam running somewhere in the bottom here while I'm teaching, that way, your students not only get to see your screen, your desktop screen, but they also get to have a little, image of you or video of you, just just so your students can see your face. You could totally do that. And this is where you're going to be choosing where you want your little webcam to be. So for example, if you wanted your little webcam square to be in the top left, then that would be over here. Bottom center, well, that would be somewhere around here. Middle right, etc. Okay. And if you click on webcam settings, again, you come back to this. Now, this will actually change the size. Sorry, I neglected to mention that earlier, but this will actually change the size of your webcam as well, of the little square rather. So if you wanted to have just a very tiny, teeny square of yourself in the bottom right hand while you're teaching, then you would probably want to go with the 160 by 120. If you wanted to go with, I really want a big webcam or square of my webcam of me while I'm teaching on the left hand side, but I really want my kids to really be able to see my facial expression, then you would maybe choose one of these higher ones. Okay, so that's again super neat, because there's not a lot of programs out there that offer this for free and an unlimited amount of time that you can do your recording with. So that is, I guess, yeah, video settings. That was really it. I don't think there's anything else in here. You can actually configure your own watermark. So if you really wanted to do that, but I've personally never done that in the past, but you can make your own watermark. I'm not going to go into that though. Now for your audio settings, you want to make sure that you're recording your audio from your microphone. I wouldn't recommend you record system sounds, because that's just going to be like, if your Windows makes like a ding noise, that's what it'll record. And for that reason, I haven't checked record both microphone and system sounds. There's really no issue or no point to that. Now, when you make a video, obviously you're going to hit that new, and you do have to select, well, first of all, you'll figure all this stuff out, and then you do have to select where you want to save your video. So you're clicking on these three little dots here. So that will open up to you. So these are just my math videos, but you could make a folder on your desktop, for example, say, for example, math instructional videos. So I made that folder, and then I would just go into desktop, find math instructional videos, and then I could save my things in here. Okay, so that's how you would go about saving that. So, just like blah, 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 save, and there you go. You'll see that it'll have changed the path. So now it's desktop, math instructional videos, the name of your file, and etc. And then hitting OK kind of tells your computer you're ready to start. And then finally, as you can see, recorder is ready. Then you would hit start. There will be a countdown when you do that. I'm not going to, just because I'm already recording and I'm not sure how starting another recording will affect this current recording. So hitting that start button will start a little countdown for you. And then once that countdown is done, the recording starts and you can start recording as I am doing. So that is Electa Live Screen Recorder. Now, there have been some options that we've seen shared with us, and I just wanted to talk about these really quickly. First of all, Screencastify is probably incredible. I've never used it, but one of the reasons that I have not used it again is because I want something that's free and that has no limitations. Unfortunately, Screencastify does have a limitation on your recordings. You can record up to 5 minutes each, which is really nothing. My current recording right now has been going for a lot longer than that, and it's been going for, I'm not sure. Anyways, it's been going for quite a bit longer, so I wouldn't want to have a limitation of 5 minutes on my recording. Okay, yes, I am currently recording. Okay, so I wouldn't want a limitation of 5 minutes because obviously that's no good. I can't really make a teaching video that's only 5 minutes long. So that's Screencastify, just a heads up. Now, if you do buy the full version, I don't know how much that is. If you do buy the full version though, I had looked it up, that 5 minutes gets dropped and you can record videos as long as you want, but let's see here, screencastify pricing. There we go. Starts at $24 per year per user. Let's see. Okay, so adding it to Chrome is going to be free, obviously, but it's just that you have that limitation. Anyways, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Just please know that you would have to pay to be able to make videos that are longer than 5 minutes. As well, Zoom. Zoom is for live streaming and video conferencing, but there is a limit on that as well. It is a limit of, let's see here, Zoom, plans and pricing, there we go. You can only hold 40-minute group meetings with Zoom. So that, again, that does get in the way. Maybe not the best. If you do go and buy the Pro version, $20 a month, now you don't have any limitations on your group conferencing. Yeah, I mean, again, up to you again, but really, I guess this isn't really too relevant to my current video, just because my current video was really about how do I capture my screen and how do I annotate my screen. So hopefully that helped you guys out and clarified things for you. All right, thanks a lot. Take care, everyone, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.